Kumusta mga kalahi? Hey there everyone, this is Joel Chavez. Welcome to my channel and please subscribe if you haven't done that yet. Hey there everyone! What you are seeing right now is my very first mixed media painting. That is to say, I use different materials to make it. And so I have this combination of geode art with this tree of life using epoxy resin, hot glue sticks, acrylic paints, some tiny agate stones, resin crystals, and crystal glass with glitters, alcohol inks, also with nail polish or nail paints. Alright, let me walk you through the steps how I made it, and you see some clips and time-lapse because I made it in few days, like at least an hour or two in a day, and yeah, I am just so happy about the result. So first I made some pencil marks how I will form my tree using hot glue sticks, and I think I used 6 sticks for this. Here in China, these stuff are really cheap. I mean, most of them, not all of course, but it's a reason why I decided to try this art, because I just have to buy online and choose the materials that I need. Almost everything is available online, and I use Taobao. So here I try to form the torso or the trunk and the branches with the use of glue sticks with my glue gun. And how much, you may ask? With glue sticks, one pack has 6 sticks and it's only 2 renminbi or 2 yuan, which is 14 pesos in the Philippines and 0.28 in dollars, US dollars. So I check online. Since this is my very first time with this mixed media / resin painting, almost everything is new to me, as I try to discover what works well and which I will really like. Here I'm using acrylic paints, white and black, to give some depth when I apply my final color. And yeah, I use this wooden frame or canvas instead of the cloth canvas, and I do it reverse. So here I apply black acrylic paint all over the tree and including the background, and so just like I said, to give some depth to other colors later. Then I use this blower to dry it quick so I can put or brush on other colors later. Then I place some agate stones, so I visualize the proper placements for them, and so I started putting on some colors to the tree. And also, not to waste some paint, I used it to also give some depth or tone to the planned geode area. And yeah, I keep using the heat gun or the hair blower actually. And I started to use the gold nail polish all over the tree. And again, it's only 2 yuan. Oh, I just remember, some of the materials are not bought online, unlike what I said a while ago, just like the glue sticks and the nail polish. And they're all from the 2 yuan shop. And the reason why I use gold nail paints is that I want to try it, and it's very cheap anyway, and I just have some gold resin instead of the gold paint, which I am just planning to buy. And yep, time to stick some of those glass crystals and some agate at the bottom of the tree. One pack of these transparent crystals costs 15 yuan for 100 grams. And sorry for not remembering how much is each of these things that I bought. I can recall that I actually wrote them somewhere, but I think I threw the box away where I made a list. Anyway, here I started with my Geode, laying some base acrylic paints, and FYI, by the way, Geode is a nodule of stone having a cavity lined with crystals or mineral matter. We can see this when we cut stone or rock. Of course, they are the special ones, not the ordinary rocks or stone that we see. This is where we get the gems that we have. So I painted the background of the tree with white acrylic paint with an attempt to make the background light in contrast with the colors of the tree. At first, what I had in mind is just to have some sort of bright light with perhaps some tones of luminous yellow and reddish light crimson color. But then again, I changed my mind because I don't want it to look like a Halloween tree. So in this part, I am showing you some of the materials I used to make this painting. We have white and black Montmartre acrylic paints. We have some alcohol ink used to refill some markers, POP or POP, it's a Chinese brand. Then this is one that I decided to use here. Then we also have some resin pigments of different colors. I also bought this silicone oil for making cells in the painting, and even clear glue for something to try, but not in this painting. Here I tried to make some patterns like bubbles or cells, but since this is my first time with this, I found out that my medium, the acrylic paint with alcohol ink, is actually kind of thick than it should be. It's thicker actually. Because of that, I decided to just have some fun making swirls maybe, or just some random waves or smoke-like movement with the goal not to make it dull and avoid monotone. And yup, blow it dry every now and then to ensure fast drying, and enjoy dabbing the stick or making swirls. I enjoyed it, no worries, because anyway, I am trying to discover or try things, and that's art. It's a free will. And wow, I remember my college best friend with that line. Now I start using the very fine gold resin grains. They look like brown sugar in its pack, but I think I can use it in many ways, especially as a beach sand for this kind of 5D painting or mixed media. And this time I mix it with the epoxy resin, 3 parts with 1 part hardener, and also with some of this powder. And then I scattered them around the branches as the leaves of the tree. When I was an art teacher in Shanghai, I experienced making a mascot, which is a dragon made of styrofoam, and we can say it's a paper mache, as I covered it with some papers and glue. Anyway, why am I talking about that? I'm saying this mixed media painting is really new to me, and I'd just like to say I would be so glad if you comment down below what you think about this, my attempt doing mixed media slash resin slash geode art. Should I continue doing this or not? Thank you. Then I filled the geode part with just the epoxy base and hardener mixed with this gold color powder. Can't recall the exact code for that. And so I also lay down some clear glass gems or plastic, I think, because they do have the same shapes. Anyway, I wanted my geode to look like it is composed of some gems and minerals, so I also accentuated it with some lines, and then I used the agate stones again to form the other layer of the geode. Maybe I've said it a couple of times already. I am so new here when it comes to this kind of painting. So it's something I also discover what I can do. I just try to imagine what would look nice to me, and yeah, so far I like my tree of life combined with geode, which normally you would see some artists just having the geodes of different colors as their subject, or just the tree of life on their canvas. But this is me, and I like this idea as if the tree of life emerged from the gigantic geode with its big roots coming out from the center of the rock, from underneath the crystals, searching for water or just to show its strong grip. I think that's very dramatic. Here I chose some bigger agate stones of reddish brown color. Some are emerald green for variation, and I placed them on top of the outer core or layer of the geode. So I began making the final coating, which is gonna be a lamination of the painting with a clear or colorless epoxy resin. Again, 3 parts plus 1 part hardener. One thing I learned from watching tons of videos using epoxy resin is that we should use the heat gun or a blower to remove the air bubbles, and so it would dry evenly and nicely without some bubbles, so the surface would be really smooth and shiny. And coating can be done, or should be done, in layers for a better result. And we know that epoxy resin is actually really quite expensive anywhere in the world, but we know how beautiful it can make our tabletops, our countertops, etc. And it's the same for the painting. That is one of the reasons why I like resin art and geode painting. Aside from durability, meaning you can keep the painting for quite long, you don't have to worry about people touching your painting and would ruin it, just like in acrylic or oil paintings. The only thing that an artist should be really be careful with is that to inhale the chemical smell or chemical content of the epoxy, which can be risky for health, especially when torching or the painting is being torched. Especially when torching is being done, or when we use the heat gun or blower. So I use my mask not just against COVID-19. Blower, 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 blower again. And here I do some final touches onto the geode because I didn't like the former color, and I used some resin pigment to color the geode with gold, blue, and silver with some black lines using Montmartre acrylic paint. But not for gold and silver, only my black and white are from Montmartre. And then I started filling it up or covering the geode with clear epoxy resin for the final laminating coat. And I should also mention using some glitters, gold and silver again, to make it really sparkly, shiny. I want it to be like that because after all it's geode, and it should show like like a real gemstone. Oh yeah, I also use blue dust or blue glitters and green as well for the leaves of the tree. And here I kind of struggle how to paint the frame. I wanted to color it also gold. First I had to sand it using my mini grinder slash sander. My first time also using this kind of thing. I covered the whole painting with a sheet of paper, but I realized there's no need for that, so I just went on. I used some kind of tape like electrical tape, but I think real artists really use this too for this purpose. And so I had to paint it with white and gold pigment combination. And hey, just like real artists do, I had to put my signature on my name on my artwork. And my pen grinder also became helpful to etch my marks on it, and then I used clear nail polish to seal it after coloring it a bit with white, because gold didn't work for some reason. It's been difficult, so I just made it white. I think I enjoyed my pen sander so much that I also tried putting my signature on the wood at the back of the painting. It's fun! Only one thing is left. The frame! I am so upset right now because I am supposed to paint this frame of this painting, but then again, when I open the box, the box of this thingy that I ordered online, it is supposed to be gold paint, water-based gold paint, but then this is what is sent to me. I'm not sure, maybe it's just me who made a mistake.